Welcome to ARTx. My name's Allegra and I'm an artist at Boys and Girls Club. Hope you enjoy the program.
My name is Kent Hutchison. I'm an interdisciplinary artist in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And what that means is I do all kinds of different art, like large-scale metal fabricated sculptures and large-scale murals, also smaller scale stuff, but I'm more interested in the large scale. Grew up in Green Bay since age 5, moved there from Madison. I went to public schools on the east side of Green Bay. And then I didn't really take any art classes. I took one art class in high school, and then when I got into college, I studied biology. And I started taking a few art classes in college just because they were intriguing and fun. And to me, that's what art was at the beginning, was intriguing and fun. The way I identify art is the activity or product yielded from invoking creative thought. Now, that could be anything from a sculpture or painting, or a dance performance, or a musical rendition, anything that invokes creative thought, which also includes the technique of a carpenter. If they're invoking creative thought in their process, I would consider that art. And that being said, you could really take it to pretty much any discipline, and any time you're invoking creative thought in what you do, what you're doing is art. And that is my definition of art, rather. Art is not just art, it's also one's interpretation of creativity. So art and creativity then became more of an emotional and expressive area. So you could convey emotions and express ideas in a unique way through art. Now, what does that carpenter make? What does that painter make? What does that dance performer make? Obviously, the first thing is a product for some of them, or an activity, but artists also create non-traditional problem-solving methods. And what I mean by that is artists take a problem or an idea, and then they're able to convey or perform that problem or idea in an abstract way, which is unlike any other form of occupation, I think, because they're taking that problem and they're having to invoke that creative thinking and think about that process, that idea, that problem in a way outside the box, in a non-traditional fashion, so that the things that they're yielding, the solutions that they're coming up with are very different and unique. It can define a space, it can define a place, and it builds identity in its presence or lack thereof. So take a community that provides a lot of resources and opportunities for artists to express themselves. So that place is going to have a different identity than a place that prevents those things from happening, that doesn't allocate resources or funds to help promote the arts. Those different places are going to have completely different identities. I'm not saying one's better or worse, but I would say that one gives a more well-rounded story of the people, culture, and history than the other. Art and creativity play a role in the interdisciplinary existence of our society. And that's a loaded statement, I know. But interdisciplinary basically means related to more than one branch of knowledge. Okay? So art relates more than one branch of knowledge. Art can be used in all the disciplines. It can be, not only can be, it should be and is used in all of our disciplines. And not just occupational disciplines, but other disciplines of life, like our relationships. Art is used in those. Our government, our businesses, our family lives, our relationship to nature, all of those areas can be expressed better with a competent knowledge of the arts and creativity. Artists and the art culture and professional artistic occupations play a major role in our economy and our business divisions. We should be respected in our community as professionals because we have a very unique set of skills. We're not volunteers. You know, artists shouldn't be asked to volunteer all the time. We should be held as a very valuable resource in communities, and some areas do it better than others. And I think it's up to those artists in a community to kind of define themselves. And I'm really happy to be in Green Bay right now because it's in a time where we're in a kind of renaissance period of artists, I would say. There's an arts movement happening in Fox Valley, and Green Bay is definitely one of the leaders. And our pool of artists is making lots of noise, and ultimately it's Green Bay who's benefiting because we're having lots of more public art, we're having lots more professional artistic jobs. The more artists that we have and the more we promote the arts, we're also promoting a stronger and more vibrant history and cultural landscape for ourselves. One more thing that I want to mention about being a professional artist is you need a supportive partner. And I am lucky enough to have found somebody like that because you're kind of asking a lot of somebody else if you're going to be a partner with that person and be an artist. And I'm lucky enough to have that person because they don't only offer support, but they provide this open door to opportunities because they're constantly giving you inspiration, and if you don't have a person, it's your family, and if you don't have a family, it's your friends, and if you don't have friends, then it's your community. Maybe it's all of those things that are offering support and inspiration. Artists need to be able to process rejection and find the fruit in rejection. And when you're able to do that, you're able to learn a lot more about not only what it's like to be an artist, but also just rejection builds character. It really does. And so if you're able to take the fruit from each rejection, you can kind of take that experience and then build from it. And a lot of people that start out being an artist are dismayed because it's hard to find opportunities, and when you do, there's a lot of people competing and you don't always get recognition. But keep at it, you'll get there. And if I was going to do it again differently, I would not take those rejections so personally. I've been inspired by some local artists in our area. Green Bay has been doing public art for a long time. The more people that we have around a table discussing public art and our community, the more likely progress is to be made, and the more likely action steps will be made from great ideas. So from there, I played a role in developing the Green Bay Public Arts Commission, and we're doing some really cool things. And we not only support public artwork, but we can also provide funds to local artists. Something I spoke about earlier was the interdisciplinary nature of art. And I feel very strongly, having had a scientific background in college, that art needs to be recognized throughout its different disciplines. So the idea of STEM was interesting, but I don't think it was well-rounded enough. And people way smarter than me started putting the A in there. And so now we have STEAM. And the people that started putting the A in the acronym of STEM, so now we have STEAM, really recognized the overlap of knowledge between art and science, technology, engineering, and math. So art really does play a significant role in the development of problem-solving methodology and solution-making and progress and innovation. One of the great things that's happening in our community is this open discussion about the role of the arts in Green Bay. And it's happening amongst the professional artistic groups. It's also happening in schools, and it should be happening with the youth also. I want to know what's going on with the perspective of our students and how they feel art will play a role in their occupational lives. I want to learn from their perspectives so that we can have this conversation amongst different generations so that we can create a more well-rounded artistic culture in Green Bay and so that we can provide the opportunities for the youth. We need our future of scientists, engineers, and technologists to be proficient in artistic and creative ways of thinking. We need a buzzing hive of youth artists, youth art activists, who are going to teach us new methods of innovation. So what are they? Who's going to step up and start having these conversations, start initiating these conversations?